Hi everybody. Today I want to use the tool Screencast-O-Matic, which is one of my favorites, to make sure that I am addressing each of the particulars in item number 1 and module 2. So we're asked to explain these particulars, are directions that tell learners what to do first in the course, directions that tell them how to progress once they're done with initial activities like orientation, schedule of course activities, an explanation of how communication occurs in the course, and summaries of our types of learning activities and assessments in the course. So what I decided to do alongside my written explanation that I'm going to post in the forum is to create this video and hopefully successfully click around to show you what I hope my students encounter as they begin my class. I'm actually using my course from this past summer. It's a class I'll teach again this coming summer. I always change up the books and change up activities according to the comments I received in evaluations. But this class, it's kind of core premise and goals remain the same, even if texts change around it. In any case, the first thing I do is email my students. I can't really show you an example of that, but I send that email through our university email system. And in that email, I provide step-by-step instructions for accessing CourseDen. I always shoot for less than 5 bullet points or a numbered list of 5 to get them going and to get them to this page. I find this helpful for students who may not have encountered or taken online courses. So once they log in, my students see, all students actually see this homepage. This is our CourseDen homepage at the University of West Georgia, and you can see to the left resources that are provided, ranging from academic resources to technological resources available from distance learning. In the middle, they can always see CourseDen news. This involves, of course, deadlines or perhaps dates when the system will be down for updating. My goal, of course, is not just to write that email that gets them to this page, but also then to pull them a little further into my class by directing them to this column at the right. They will, of course, find the class and click on it. Once they click on this, it takes them to my classes homepage. So again, I'm pulling them further into the course. And so students, once they get to this homepage, encounter first my favorite my favorite tool when it comes to teaching online, the news tool. I use this almost compulsively 3 to 5 times a week to update them, to provide them with motivation if they need it, to give them a specific answer. Perhaps I've been getting a lot of emails about a particular assignment, so I'll just go ahead and create a news item. I also put in reviews of young adult texts, maybe a news item about how young adult literature is being utilized in a particular community. But in this first go round, when they encounter this home page, they get my greeting letter. And in it, what I attempt to do is go through it and provide for them not only an aerial view, kind of giving them the premise of the course, giving them an aerial description. They can, of course, link to the detailed description that had already been provided to them via campus publications. But then I move directly into a list of important aspects that get students started. So again, in this greetings letter, I'm giving them this large overview. I'm about to direct them to a specific overview and orientation, but I want to give them a large general overview that perhaps, I hope, highlights for them some common aspects of online courses, but also differentiates very quickly for them how my class works in comparison to other courses they may have taken. So this list really attempts to begin doing that, giving them some specifics. For example, a lot of our online courses, especially in our College of Education, are self-paced. Mine is not. So I want to make sure that they understand that. I let them know then when each module opens, and they have dates I'll show you in a moment on the syllabus for the opening day of each module. I'm pretty proud of my checklists that I use for each module. I've gotten great feedback on that, giving students particular tasks underneath subheadings like read, view, discuss, and complete, or sometimes I use create or write. I give them some specifics again, providing this larger overview about what to expect. This group of students, I made use of collaborative work groups. They had already been assigned. So that was something I wanted to make clear to them. And of course, this class does meet twice face to face. So again, I wanted to remind them of that to give them a chance to get those dates for face-to-face meetings on their calendar. You can see now that after that kind of general description, overview of specific aspects, I asked them specifically to turn to Module 1. So what I did here is I actually, for this semester, folded the orientation into Module 1. So it just became a task that students had to complete. So I'm going to take you there in a moment. But again, just giving them, I hope, an overview, giving them a sense of how the news tool will be utilized is important to me. And I'm attempting once again to pull them from that larger email to the homepage for CourseDen, to the homepage for Young Adult Lit, and then directing them to the content of the course, which would be Module 1. The content browser used to be listed here. I'm not quite used to it yet, and now we have to click up here. But what is also important for this course and for any online course is that the calendar always provides, and of course those dates are no longer listed because they're past dates, but it always provides for my students a list of due dates, a running list of due dates and updates. You can also see here that they have a library help bar that they can click and either get information or, if the hours are right, chat with someone live. But I'm going to take you directly into content now, since that's what I've directed them to do in this long greetings letter. So I'm going to click that, and when I do, what comes up is this, the table of contents. This takes them directly into Module 1, which involves, for this course, not just academic tasks that they will get to, but the orientation. I really love the setup of this because it gives them a chance to go through each module when each module is released and see exactly what they're going to encounter. Each assignment has a rubric directly underneath. They can see the particular forums where they'll be posting information, and of course always there's the checklist. But for Module 1 in this class, the orientation was important since I directed them to start here. If they click on this, it takes them directly to this page where they are immediately directed to read the syllabus. The syllabus is connected via hyperlink. And when they click on this, they see what looks like at first a pretty, I think, traditional face-to-face syllabus, though I immediately began changing that expectation, I hope, as they read it. They do encounter almost recursively some of the same information that they saw in the larger overview, the greetings letter, but I want to do that on purpose so that they continually encounter information that might be the same, maybe presented to them in a different way, and it solidifies the information in their mind. At least that's a goal I have. They again encounter the course description. Here they get the detailed list of course competencies for my class. They see required books and the modules that they exist in, so they were really clear, hopefully, on how, for example, Chains and Forge are in Module 1, Dini and Cut, Module 2. So that was something I wanted to set up for them as a kind of structural piece that would help them begin seeing the lay of the land, so to speak, with the class. I give them required technology, and in this class it was important because 2 people had never had to use a webcam, which I really wanted them to be sure they had. Really inexpensive and handy tool, really, to have. So I always provide them that. Then we get into major assignments, the percentage breakdown. And of course, I give them assignment descriptions. Now, these are not assignment sheets. Those each are posted in each pertinent module, but I want again to give them an overview of what to expect. The grading instruments, I talk specifically about those. And again, each specific rubric is connected to the assignment in a pertinent module. So my students always encounter an assignment sheet with due dates and information. And on that assignment sheet, I always direct them directly to the rubric, which of course is also linked in that module. Now, one more time, I go through and I give them an aerial overview of the modules. And again, some of my students have never taken an online course, so I have to describe for them what a module is, basically a unit of study. I go through, and you can see for this class, I provide the dates of each module, and then of course the specific skill sets. These are again repeated in each module's checklist. But I wanted here in this initial document to give them a sense of structure, consistency, so that they can then know what to expect as they encounter each module. Then of course come words on workload. This is an 8-week summer class, a summer graduate class, and so the workload is stepped up in this particular kind of session, the summer session. And then, of course, we get to policies and procedures, and that would include not only traditional policies and procedures that are found at our common link. All courses have to use this common link at the University of West Georgia, but also netiquette, attendance, and different particulars. Now, here at the end, I go and ask them to get out of this document and introduce themselves. And of course, they get to learn a bit more about me. So that takes them back to this particular portion of Module 1, the orientation. And in this particular section, they introduce themselves using some kind of technology. And so in this forum, if I were to click this, I get here. My students not only see some direction in the initial post, but also my particular introduction. And then, of course, they went ahead this summer and they introduced themselves using all sorts of different technology. I think only one of them used text, and it seemed like he was a little reticent, so I kind of stepped in and tried to give him some suggestions. That's something I also want to point out, that whenever they have to use technology, I'm really good about giving them an example and finding good directions or writing my own for them. Of course, after my students are finished with orientation, they immediately move into the forum and the reading for this particular module. So again, I fold in my orientation in this class to Module 1, differentiating it, I hope, getting them to start and then directing them into the academic tasks for that module. I hope that this has provided you with an explanation of all of the tasks that we were asked to explain. I'm going to include not only a link to my syllabus in my post, but also this video, and of course my written explanation of how I feel that I do in fact achieve these particulars for standards 1.1 and 1.2. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope everyone's having a great day and that we have all, if we're teaching, finished grading. Grades were due today at noon, and so I'm still on that post-grading euphoria kind of high today. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.